Okay. On the opening. Okay, here we go. MADKID, baby. MADKID. Yeah, the best opening band ever for Shiro. The MADKID. Okay, it's like an hourglass, clearly. The blue hourglass thing, right? You know, guess that's Seal Hero. Season 2, yeah! Yeah, baby. Yeah, it's like credit opening. So it's probably a cleaner opening over next week. This is some good stuff. Look at there. Okay, Raftalia staring. That's clearly Tortoise in the opening. Oh yeah, so Switch here is back, of course. It's gonna be a part of this thing, of course it is. Yeah, look at that. Friendship and so on, you know, it's gonna have some new slime. Oh, and this is a new bad guy, clearly. Like, I hope he's called Book Hero. I hope that guy is Book Hero. He was like throwing paper shit at them. Hope he has like, I have the book power. Yeah, I'm the guy with the books, right? That would be a good hero part. The cute Reptalia running here on the shields here. Of course. Is she gonna 11? I don't know, man. She gonna has that. Gotta get a little bit of Queen. This her, this one die, this woman gonna die. Yeah, this woman gonna die. And then the other heroes no one cares about. Yeah, those guys that no one cares about. Those useless morons that no one cares about. Holy shit. Yeah, and old ladies train them and so on, right? I love this preenie suit though. It's freaking awesome. See the opening too there. God damn it. Well, clearly the blue spirit thing is important because it freezes the hourglass, right? But at the same time, it's pretty good, man. This thing is like freezing the... On the same time, I feel that's pretty good, right? You know? Like that guy is freezing the waves for them. Is that bad? Think about that. Is that bad? You don't have to fight the waves, right? If you don't kill the tortoise, maybe there's never new waves. It's like, I'm freezing it for you guys. Anyway, I want to go in... I want to do a little opening. You know, like the opening analyzation, right? So I want to do the opening session. Then review it as well. So first of all, of course, try to see the two, right? No, the opening I thought has a lot of credits. Yeah, it's an unclean, whatever you call it, opening, right? So it's gonna be a little more meh, but whatever. I want to do it anyway. So I love doing an opening reactions, that's right. So we see the first characters, and then clearly this is Ortiz. I mean, obviously the Ortiz appears. I mean, that's clearly the. Necessarily the bad guy, but you know, whatever that is, so that's clearly coming here in the opening. Yeah, that means that's obvious, right? Don't have to talk about too much. Obviously Tortoise. Then we see Switch Hero and so on, right? That's nothing new with him. He's probably gonna take a part of the hero team, right? So then we see, of course, she's part of the harm and so on. What I'm interested in this guy, okay, here's what I'm interested in, right? This thing is what I'm interested in. So we do have this thing happening, right? Make it cleaner here. We have this thing happening. It's gonna fix that cleanness of it. We have this thing happening here, and that's like he looks like he's probably the main bad guy, right? So, you know, this is why I like doing opening. You know, as I am the only reactor. You know, you're like, oh, this guy is probably the bad guy. But there appears a guy here with a book, right? And I bet you my money that he's the main antagonist. The Tortoise feels a little too much of like a random monster thing that is like awakening or whatever. This is probably the, you know, at least a manipulated person. Tortoise must be the boss of the arc or whatever, but this guy is the, you know, the guy behind what's happening. He's the guy triggering the event or whatever. And I hope then, I say jokingly here, but I hope he's the book hero, you know? We're so stupid, but, you know, we have Switch hero and fan hero basically right there. Hope this guy is like, I got the book, man. I'm a magician hero, right? Because in one way, every other hero, I guess with the fans, kind of makes it to a spot, arguably. But the other heroes are kind of like, you know, oh, I have a spear and I can throw shit at you, right? You know, I can still shoot with my spear, right? Oh, I have a shield and I can summon magic at you, whatever that. But they don't really have a hero that's like, I got an intelligent hero, you know, with the staff that can throw fireballs, right? That has been a role that we have seen being covered by the other cast, right? Like the princes, right? You know, they're covering kind of the spellcaster roles, right? So I think it makes sense if he's like, oh, I'm the magician hero. I got freaking spell shit, right? But he is literally throwing papers at them, though. He is literally throwing papers. So I'm gonna guess he's the book hero, right? I think it would be hilarious. He's a book villain, perhaps, but previously the book hero. I think it would be hilarious if he's like, I got them, but he is throwing books at them. He is gonna be the book hero. He is throwing books at them. Jesus Christ, man. The next scene, I'm gonna go back here. The next scene, the books turns into like some laser beams. He is definitely the freaking book hero. Here it is. Yeah, this scene here. The papers turns into some kind of laser beam. He is the book hero. You're not gonna be writing that shit. He's the evil book villain. Come on, he's the book hero. That's what I call him. He's the maybe Grimoire. Maybe he's like Grimoire, but something like that, right? Then we see the Tortoise. Yeah, whatever. Obviously, the Tortoise gonna be in the storyline. That's like obvious. Blast this. I kind of like the scene generally. I think I like the scene, you know, when Tate is jumping on the shield. So one has been cool in the opening, right? You got that thing going for it. Feel of course is adorable. I love this thing with her in the pretty suit. You know, Queen. It's a little callback, right? This tells me, from a narrative standpoint, this tells me that the Queen and maybe Malty, but probably they're not gonna be part of the arc, right? You know, if you see a character like this, where they're like, yeah, remember me or something, that tells us that they're not part of this arc. Yeah, if you have an opening, right, where like one of the characters who used to be a part member, right, or the princess, you know, she's like, yeah, that tells you that she's not gonna actually be part of the arc, right? She's like a callback. It's kind of like if you've seen it for so many animes, right? It's a very Japanese thing, but you've seen it happen even in Dragon Ball, okay? It's kind of like if you watch Dragon Ball when they used to fight all the time, right, in some of the arcs, whatever, I spoil too much. But anyway, Bulma, right, isn't a part of some of the arcs because, or she is part of the arc, but they just keep fighting, right, you know, for like 10 episodes, right, at least, right? Probably more than that. It's fight, right? So it's one of the arcs in Dragon Ball. That's kind of how they do it, right? It's a lot of fights. So obviously Bulma is a important character, but she has like no screen time, right? So there you see, you know, in the openings like fight, you know. There's Bulma, like, you know, yeah, you know. Even the manga did it. Even Toriyama himself did that in the Dragon Ball. He did like these, you know, color pages right in between. He's like, oh, I'm drawing sexy Bulma every time because she has like no screen time in the actual arc. So that's why I want to add her into, you know, like the promo art or like, you know, like the first page before the manga actually goes in, right? So he even said himself that I think people are gonna miss all the other characters not just to fight, you know, Bulma, Launch and so on. So that's why I'm doing etchy, you know, like extra pages because yeah, they're not part of the manga anymore, right? He's like, I'm fully aware that we don't see the female characters at all anymore. I haven't seen them for like 30 chapters, yeah. That's kind of a thing with this thing. It's like, and this is clearly Bulma wants to die, but obviously she won't die. I have no idea who she is. She looks like a cloth hero, right? She's probably a hero character. Looks like she has control over her cloth, right? Kind of the guy Teppen in Grenadier can control her clothing as a weapon, probably. And she's like, yeah, you know, what is she like, you know? Not gonna die. And then we see the three morons. They're in pain, whatever. Who cares? Clearly a new brown. Yeah, and then we have, you know, she's one of the leaders, right? This woman didn't get much screen time, but she's one of his city people, right? Yeah, honestly, we saw her in the city. She didn't get much like explanation. It's probably better than novel, but I guess she's like I don't know what her role is. Maybe she's like commander or something when he's not there, right? And then it's a bunch of like samurai chicks and so on. Yeah, we see like 2-3 samurai chicks, right, and so on. And I think that's because obviously this arc here, as I mentioned in the reaction part, right? This arc, they're clearly going into Japan, right? Or maybe China or Korea or whatever. But they're clearly going into East Asia. Let's just call it Japan. Right? So they're going into Japan, this arc. Normally the anime takes place in, you know, like whatever, Europe, right? Like England or whatever. And now they're going into Japan. That's very, very clear. So that we see these other characters. If we see this kind of character, right, well, yeah, clearly, you know, she's a kind of, you know, samurai chick, right? So, of course, there are a bunch of, like, samurai characters in the opening, right? Because, you know, yeah, they're in Japan now, so... Well, I mean, literally, now I'm thinking about it, yeah, it's Japan now, because in the previous scenes, in the episode, it could have been China or whatever, but this woman has a katana. She has a straight-up typical Japanese katana, so, yeah, now it really is Japan, right? So, yeah, of course they're in Japan. But before this opening, you could argue that it's like, you know, China, right, or whatever. But no, this is Japan now because they all have Japanese katanas. Yeah, so clearly we're in Japan now. And then yeah, the old lady, right, still in the one. I love the previous suits in the openings well there. And we keep seeing this hourglass right there. The hourglass is clearly important, right? Keep seeing this hourglass, you know, it's some kind of. That's why it stopped, right? That's why it stopped what's it called, the waves, right? So, arguably, why do you want to kill the tortoise? It's stopping everything. But yeah, that's the opening reaction, guys. I think it was a cool opening. I love this kind of openings where they, before we get into the episode, I just love this kind of openings, right? Because it doesn't really spoil that much, right? It doesn't like spoil, oh, this guy's gonna kill him, whatever, right? In some openings, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna kill him now. Yeah, you get spoiled, right? Massively. But what it does, I think it's a good opening because what it does is that it's foreshadowing stuff. Oh, here's a woman with a katana. Right? Here's a samurai chick, right? I don't know who she is. Is she gonna join the harem? Is she gonna be a slave? Who knows, right? But my point, of course, is that yeah, that's a woman. She's foreshadowed now in the opening, right? Okay, she's gonna be one of the characters Maybe she's an enemy, probably not given the opening, right? But it gives me enough information to be like, okay, here's the new characters, and then we see this chick also die, and we see this book hero, right, and so on. And you know, that's kind of where I'm at, right? And then of course we have other openings where you show you everything, or openings where you show you nothing, right? You know, and for example, I think a good example is like One Piece opening 18. It's a terrible opening from a visual standpoint because nothing happens in it, right? They're just fighting these like nameless goons, right? You see no new info. Compare that to like 19 or 17 between us. 17 is like all the Doflamingo characters, right? All the Dressrosa characters. That's like a night and day, you know. It's the same arc, but it's night and day, right? First opening shows you all the new bad guys, their powers to some extent, right? Not spoiling it, but showing you some extent. Next opening is like they're fighting, you know, random golems in the forest, basically. Yeah, it's boring, right? This was a good opening, this opening, because it showed you enough. It didn't spoil. I don't feel I got spoiled, right? I don't feel it revealed too much to me. It did reveal, though, I would say that the book guy is clearly the bad guy. Like that's probably the biggest spoiler of the opening. There's no way that this guy throwing his papers up at them. There's no way he's not one of the bad guys, though. That I guess is a spoiler. Yeah, he's obviously a bad guy. Probably the main antagonist. So I guess that's a spoiler. But that being said, I don't really know, you know, who he is yet, right? So it doesn't feel like a massive spoiler because I don't really know how it relates. But certainly, when I see him in the coming episodes, I'm gonna, oh, that's the bad guy. You know, that's a spoiler for the opening. I'm gonna know he is the bad guy when we see him, right? So, but anyway, so you guys have a great day. So you guys soon with RPG Fudan, I think it's called in Japanese. RPG Real Estate, which I think looks like a pretty cool anime. So see you guys and have a great day.